Hello, everyone out in podcast land. My name is Vinny, and with me are
Mike Wolfer
and Natalie Jane.
Very good, and we are the Haunt Squad. Welcome to our very first podcast. Basically, I just wanted to have a show right now. This is our first show, and I wanted to set it up so that it's just a get-to-know-you kind of thing. What better way than to have us discuss where we came from, why we did this, why we're doing this, where we're going to go with it, and just have a little fun and back and forth discussion.
Yeah, solid plan,
you know. But the podcast itself is going to be based on comics, movies, paranormal, anything that we just come up with. You know, it's going to be like the ADD of podcasts. That's all we're going to do is just discuss goofy things. And, you know, we have our Facebook out there, and we just bring up topics. Sure. You know, anything that we can come up with. We're going to have some live shows, and you know, there are plans. A lot of plans.
Yeah.
Like I posted on Facebook today, Phase 2 is starting. So
if it's creepy, we cover it.
Exactly. That's what it is. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, Mike, nobody knows what I do, and honestly, what I do is nothing but.
Wow.
I am a regular Joe. I drive a goofy truck, and I do goofy work, and I make my goofy money. However, you, on the other hand, and Natalie Jane have a much more interesting facet of work. Mm-hmm. Let's just go with what you do right now.
Well, I'm kind of tied into a very unique world, and that is comic book production. I'm a comic book writer and artist. I've been doing it since 1987. Everything I do is horror related in some way, and you know, it's a cool job. I mean, I love it. I've got great fans all over the world. I've got to work on incredible comic book projects like Night of the Living Dead and Lady Death, Friday the 13th. You know, I've worked with George Romero and Sean Cunningham from New Line, you know,
wow.
Friday the 13th, and John Russo that co-wrote Night of the Living Dead, and just, you know, I'm just this guy. I mean, I'm just a goofy guy.
You're not this guy, Mike. You worked with George Romero.
I drank beer out of his bathtub once.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long story. I'm not going to go into it.
Wow.
I've just, you know, right place at the right time, and I just happen to be you know, in a career that allows me access to a lot of cool stuff that I never would have been exposed to before.
Well, listen, I'm sitting on your coattails. Just keep dragging me along with you, okay? I'll do this.
I don't know where we're going. But.
That's okay. I'll just hold on for dear life as we're going. And then Natalie Jane, you are basically his letterer, and what do you do?
I'm his letterer. I'm his girlfriend.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Well, I don't know. I don't even know where to start. I mean, right now, yeah, I'm just lettering his stuff. You know, I'm boring.
No.
I don't really do anything.
Yeah, I take it you might be his inspiration for some of the stories, or at least some of the drawings or whatever.
All the voluptuous drawings
Nice.
are me. You know, that's just what I look like. I can't help it. No,
Well,
no.
She does pose for me.
Not at all. Yeah. No, actually, he asked me to pose for him. Like, okay, hold this gun, because I need to see how, you know, how the hands would look. I hold this gun, pretend you're gonna kill me,
sure.
And hold this shovel like you're gonna smash it into my head. So I get to do a lot of fun stuff like that.
I'm sure you enjoy it too. I wish my wife would say the same thing. Just hold this gun like you're gonna kill me. No problem. So you're a successful team, and you know you've already had the Kickstarter for Ragdoll.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Which was a huge success,
mm-hmm.
and now you're moving on to another Kickstarter. For Widow. Okay.
Yep.
And is that a newer book, or is that something that you did a while ago? How is that?
It's actually old material. For anyone who doesn't know what Kickstarter is, it's a website that creators use to generate money to create their projects, their dream projects. People contribute money and they get rewards in return. You can basically donate like $50, and in exchange for that, you'll get it. Like in my case, special comic books,
Stuff.
Like signed and numbered comics and art prints and things like that. But it's just a way for guys like me to create that dream project, and the only way to do that is with money. I mean, there's a lot of expenses involved with publishing a comic book. So, I run this campaign for 30 days, and my fans contribute money, and I'm able to use those funds to make the thing that whatever it might be. It's not just comics. Kickstarter is for all kinds of stuff. Like video games and books and innovations and inventions and potato salad.
Ooh,
I mean, it's a great.
not to do that.
It's a great way to rip people off.
Wait, no, let's edit that. Edit that.
So anyhow, so I'm running this Kickstarter to bring back into print a lot of old stories that I had published back in the 90s.
Wow.
A series called Widow. She's a like half human, half spider hybrid sexy lady, and she goes around and does stuff that you would expect that she would be doing,
Nice.
like mating and killing and eating and blood and
Guts and
boobs and
wait,
Lots
boobs.
of boobs.
Boobs.
yeah.
Boobs.
But there's a market for that.
Yeah, he sent me.
I've realized.
It was hilarious. She sent me that picture of the Oracle,
Daughters of the Dark
Daughters of the
Oracle,
Dark
right.
Oracle, and the coloring is fantastic
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
But as I noted on my response to it, boobies.
Yeah. They're subtle, but they're there.
No. so a successful comic book writing team.
Yep.
Phenomenal stories. The Ragdoll
thanks.
story was fantastic.
Thank you.
And it brings us to now this next juncture in your career, and it's not something huge or money making or anything like that. It's Haunt Squad.
Yeah.
And whenever we talk about it, I always refer to it as a team more than a group. A lot of people refer to paranormal groups as groups.
Right.
I see us more as a team. We're all pulling in our ideas to make something that's really special.
Yep.
And that's how I see it. What do you think Haunt Squad is?
Well, most of the people listening, if you're into paranormal investigating or the shows, you all know what we do. And what we do is pretty similar to what goes on the TV shows, but there's a different angle, there's a different aspect of it that a lot of people don't know about, and that is the group aspect.
Right.
And when you get like 18 or 20 people together who all have a common interest, and you all say, we're going to pursue this goal, we're going to do paranormal investigations. The investigating part is fun. That's great.
It's really fun,
we love
actually.
it.
Yeah.
And we have that commonality between us. We all love, to explore the paranormal. But aside from that, you get 18 to 20 people together in a group, there's very little else that we have in common.
Oh no, there's something in common: drama.
Yeah.
Drama.
If we didn't have that one common bond, we would probably never associate with each other, outside of investigating. And it's not to say that it's bad people. It's just we come from different backgrounds, and we don't have anything else in common.
Yeah.
And also too, when you have a group, 18 to 20 people, it's like a job. And
it turns into something like that. Yeah. It's no longer fun.
I mean, you have people who have to, fulfill their obligations. You have, different jobs assigned to different people on the team. You have meetings that you need to show up for, and all of this stuff. And when you have people like basically calling in sick, because we all have regular, real lives.
Yeah.
It just makes it really, really difficult to function and to, fulfill your commitment to your clients, basically to show up and do an investigation for
Yeah.
people, and it's really tough to manage all of those people and come up with a team that's going to show up on Sunday, May 3rd. Everybody can be there at 3 o'clock. Oh, man, out of 18, 20 people, you might end up with only 3 who can make it.
Exactly.
It's tough. So with this, what we're doing, we're going to be doing the same thing, paranormal investigations, but we're keeping it very small, to like Ghost Adventures style, just like the 3 of us with occasional guest stars,
Special guests,
some of our friends who want to hang out
Sure.
with us and go on investigations with us, but it's much easier to manage when
And
it's
handle,
a small group rather
yeah.
than what is it called, herding cats?
Herding cats?
You know?
Did you say cats?
Cats.
Cats? What are we talking about? Cats. Yeah, and I noticed that with being with other groups and seeing how other groups run. Yeah, there's a lot more, like I was saying before, drama. And it's not intentional drama. It's more just things happen when you get a group of people that are different. You just have a lot of crap that goes on, and then after the investigation, that's where the drama really starts. It's not during the investigation, because everybody's having a great time during the investigation. It's after the investigation, that's when, all right, who's going to be looking at the video? Who's going to be going over the audio? And I can't do it. I don't have the ability. I don't have this.
As we said, a couple minutes ago too, real life interjects, and
Exactly.
stuff comes up, and people can't do it, and then you have to have somebody figure, okay, well, if you can't do it, then you have to do it. And now you've got email messages and Facebook messages and things going back and forth.
Exactly.
It's man, being in a big group is really, really difficult.
And then having, I think what we're doing is something a little different. Instead of doing private investigations, we're just going to make it that we do, museums, workplaces, that kind of thing.
Right.
What do they call that? Oh
Public.
my God. Public. Thank you.
Right.
Natalie, the wordsmith.
Historic sites.
Historic sites. Yeah. So.
And that's one of the things that we talked about at the very beginning when we decided to form this group. What do we want to do? And the first thing that came up was, what do we don't want to do? And that's private investigations.
Yeah.
In my experience, I've been doing this since 2009, I think. Private investigations are really cool, and in fact, that's how we met you, Vinny.
Yeah,
we did an investigation in your house. They're fun, they're interesting, they're exciting. You never know what you're going to get. But personally, we 3 of us discussed this at the beginning.
Yeah,
there's a lot of liability involved, and you don't know what you're walking into. And we've done a lot of walkthroughs of places where people have called, in other groups that we've been in. People call and say, hey, we want you to come out. We've got ghosts. I'm like, okay. And you get out there and you start looking around their place and you start realizing there's a lot of dysfunction going on here. And it's just something that you don't, for the safety of the group, you don't want to interject yourself into that environment. So hands off private investigations. No offense to anyone, but
no, and also, I've heard of some investigations where it wasn't the place that was haunted; it was more the people that might have had some issues, pills or mental or whatever. And it's really tough to get into that, because now you're like, well, the house isn't really haunted, but the guy who owns the house is, there's something there. There's something wrong. Now what do you do?
Right.
You where do you go from there? So it's something I think we might have made the right decision in just kind of doing historical spots, and it also helps us out too, because then we can promote those historical spots.
That's that's the whole idea, and the group that we were all in together, Diamond State Ghost Investigators. That's their main thrust, is to do historic sites and to help promote those sites through their investigations. And it's a great thing, If a historic site, some mansion somewhere, wants people to come in their doors and learn the history of the place, what better way than say, and by the way, it might be haunted. We had a group come in, and that just
brings up a lot of interest.
Yeah,
a lot more people want to
curiosity
walk
seekers
in.
come
Yeah,
out.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So those are the differences, I think, with Haunt Squad, and I think it was noted that Haunt Squad, paranormal entertainment.
Right.
Okay, so what's the entertainment part aside from the podcast that we're throwing up?
Right. Well, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff that we just paranormal things.
What
and
I brought
scary
up
stuff
before.
And, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yes, the main thrust of the group is to do investigations, and to bring our evidence to you and let you decide what you think. But we don't want to keep it
just
confined to that one thing. I mean, we all at heart, we're all a bunch of nerds,
Pretty much. Look around you.
And we love to talk about movies and TVs, TV and games and comic books and all of that stuff that excites us.
Right.
And actually, it's probably what got us into paranormal investigating in the first place is a love for spooky, scary stuff. So
yeah,
and then we
exactly.
find out, hey, it could possibly be real. Hey, yeah.
Hey. Yeah, so I think my part in this is going to be the whipping boy because I'm horror virgin here. I mean, looking at some of the posts there, you guys watch the 70s, Hammer films and everything.
Yeah.
I remember watching those when I was a kid, but I don't remember them now. Christopher Lee and I remember watching one, Blackula.
Yeah.
Blackula.
We just the other night we watched Blackenstein. It was awesome.
Good stuff.
So I'm going to be asking you. So guys, what is it about? I don't understand. I'm like, oh my god, I don't get it. And that's
if you look at our Facebook, the Haunt Squad Facebook page, Natalie Jane's always posting stuff like, "Oh, what's your favorite Lucio Fulci movie?"
What?
People are like, "What the
hell is a Lucio Fulci movie? What?"
I know it's sad. I sit there and no one's communicating with me, and I'm like, please, someone, anyone,
please help me. Show me.
But the good thing is, I mean, just because people don't interact on Facebook doesn't mean that they're not seeing the posts and they're not exploring it on their own. So the paranormal entertainment aspect of this, we're promoting anything and everything that's scary. Mm-hmm. So you put out the name of some director that people aren't familiar with, they're going to do a Google search and they're going to say, "Holy crap, that looks scary! I'm going to buy that DVD."
Know your Argento, know your Romero. Come on, it's good stuff. Yeah, see, I grew up in the '80s, so I watched a lot of Svengoolie. I grew up in Chicago, so Svengoolie was my thing, and The Incredible Melting Man gave me nightmares, and I watch it now, and I'm just like, this is bad. But great effects by Rick Baker for sure.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I got that going for me. Slasher flicks. Come on.
So you were a fan of like Friday the 13th and
Yes.
stuff like that.
I love Michael
Halloween.
Myers.
She's a Halloween girl.
You're a Halloween fan,
Halloween
really?
girl.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, what did you think of the newer ones that came out? Was it Rob Zombie did them? I think the new Halloween movies.
I'm not a fan. I like Rob Zombie.
Well, the guy they had to play Mike, they had. I mean, he's a huge guy. I mean,
I guess I
he
would have
scares the
preferred
hell
it.
out of me.
I guess I would have preferred it if maybe he even if it was called something else, But as a whole, I'm not a fan of remakes.
Okay.
Reimaginations, recalibrations, whatever we're calling them. Halloween is just sacred to me. So anybody that touches it, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, no. I mean, it wasn't terrible. I just wasn't, a fan of it.
Now, see, from my angle as a creator, a writer of horror, Natalie and I discussed this. I'm like, okay, if someone came to me and said, "Hey, listen, we want you to write a new Halloween sequel," I would have to say, okay, let's see, we want to honor the past, but we also want to do something new. And when you do something new, you're gonna piss off the people who like the old
That's
stuff.
not canon.
We want more of the same.
Yeah.
And then when you give them more of the same, they say, "We already saw it." Yeah. So I think in Rob Zombie's case, they're like, "Listen, we want to re-energize the franchise. We want to reboot it, start it over." do something new and different with it, and he did. And some people liked it, some people didn't. As a film, it's a great film.
Yeah.
You know, it's got great editing, and it's shot really well, and it's nice to look at. But there are story elements that, you know, kind of grate with some of the older fans.
Okay.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You know, like, do it. Whatever. You might pick up new followers.
Scary movies scare me.
No.
Yeah. Well,
Get out of here.
let me tell you, I saw Friday the 13th when I was a kid. I have not seen any of them since.
Really?
Halloween, I saw the first one, and I was like, no, I don't.
Honestly, that's the only one you really need to see.
don't
That's
like-
the first one.
Oh, no, the third one is the best one.
That one's awesome.
Okay, happy Halloween. That was one of those where they're like, oh, we got to put something together and throw Halloween on it. Okay.
Well, you know, I read recently that, you know, I don't know if it was John Carpenter's decision. They decided to just go in a different direction and to make it more, you know, make it a separate story. Like, okay, Michael Myers' story has ended, and now we're going to start a new story.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that, and so when I rented Halloween 3, and I'm like, where the hell is Michael Myers?
Ew.
I was so angry. I hated the movie, but it really is. It is a good movie.
It's a fun movie.
It's fun.
Was it about a witch or something like that?
No.
Druids.
It's called Season of the Witch.
Yeah, Season of
but
the Witch and old customs.
It's hard to describe.
Okay, I
Yeah.
don't know. I the only thing I remember was watching it when I was, again, you grew up in the 80s. I am the child of the 80s. So I watched some of it and I was like, no, I don't want to see this.
Yeah.
You know. But the kids were buying all these masks, and then at a certain time the mask would stay on them or something like that, or
While
Yeah,
they
they
were watching
had-
the commercial.
There was like a, you know, this secret, you know, group, this cartel of evil people who were going to use, you know, like an ancient megalith, and use the rock to bring back
Ancient ways and
yeah, I don't know, like
sacrifices and
yeah, and the way they were going to do that is I don't know if they actually had little pieces of the rock embedded in the
microchip, whatever it was.
in the mask.
Yeah.
So when the kids put on the mask on Halloween night and they show the commercial on TV,
okay.
it activates the
And it
mask
eats
and they all
them.
die.
Bugs
Are you
come
kidding me?
out
That's what it was about?
Oh,
They
it's
would all
awesome.
die? I thought
Yeah.
they all turned into monsters
No,
or
there was
something.
little
No.
kids with like goo pouring out of their eyeballs.
Oh, no. I didn't know that.
Yeah, good stuff.
Oh my God! Well, you know, so you got remakes, we got movies, and
Yeah.
you know, so I didn't know that. So my part is going to be like, so what do you guys? I don't know. So tell me something. I don't get it. You know, I as we were discussing before the show, I just watched the first season of American Horror Story, and I was like, wow, it's really good. It's almost 5 years old.
Yeah.
This series. Yeah, it was pretty good. I think that's a good show.
Way to be with it.
I
man.
please don't get me started. I still think Poltergeist is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, well, did you see the?
They're gonna remake it.
Are they?
Did you see
Yes.
the trailer for it though?
I did. It doesn't look bad.
Come on,
It
when
doesn't
that
look
little
bad.
girl's sitting at the bottom of the stairs and she's playing, and all of a sudden she gets dragged up the stairs by her foot. I'm
Yeah.
not. At least they're not taking it where it's the Freelings, because that was the original family in the
Yeah.
original. It's not that. It's a totally different family,
Oh,
totally different house, and everything else. And so it could be like the next story. So, who knows?
Who's doing that?
I
Anyone?
don't know.
Anyone we know?
No, I don't even think Steven Spielberg has anything to do with it. He was involved with the first one, and Toby Hooper was
That's
involved.
right.
Yeah.
Toby Hooper.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody has. I don't think we know anybody who's involved in this one.
Yeah.
But I'll go see it, along with Avengers and Ant-Man
Oh,
and Daredevil and
don't get me started.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide
Is
Squad.
Deathstroke's gonna be in it? Yes.
So I'm still waiting on the sideshow figure of Ragdoll to come out.
Oh yeah, when's that coming out?
I don't know. I'm still waiting. Waiting on Mike Wolfer to send out the blueprints on Ragdoll so we can get the figure.
I have a whole slew of characters that I could do figures of. Like, there's a bunch.
Let's go.
We should do it.
You really do.
We should just do
I'll start sculpting.
it. Yeah. Yeah, me too.
So, yeah, this is Haunt Squad. This is what we talk about. We're just goofing off and talking about all sorts of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the paranormal,
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of stuff out there that we can discuss. You know,
Heck
we,
yeah.
we watched The Ghost Adventures.
Ghost Stalkers.
Ghost Stalkers.
Ghost
Which
Stalkers,
one's
yeah.
better for you, Ghost Adventures or Ghost Stalkers?
Ghost Stalkers.
Why is Ghost Stalkers... I've never seen it, so why is Ghost Stalkers better than Zack?
Dead silence. What was that?
I can't.
Come on, Natalie Jane.
No. I'm going to say is I'm a big fan of John E.L. Tenney.
Okay.
He's serious. He's for real. And I think I trust him not to BS.
Yeah.
There's just this trust that I have with him.
Okay.
I mean, I've never met him. I don't know him personally or anything like that. But I just think that he really takes it seriously. And I don't think he's going to BS anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you got Ghost Adventures, Ghost Stalker, what is it, Ghost Hunters, where I think pretty much the whole paranormal community has pretty much gone, with the Ghost Hunters are kind of like, I really haven't heard anything.
I don't know what ratings are like, yeah.
I'm hearing more Ghost Adventures, Ghost Stalkers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of new ones coming out that
Is Paranormal Witness still around? That was another one that people talked
everybody
about.
was talking about. That's on this podcast I was listening to concerning American Horror Story. They were talking about Paranormal Witness. What is that? Is that a paranormal show, or is it more stories like
I
a
thought it was
haunting?
reenactments.
Okay,
of
so it's
real
almost like
cases,
that, a haunting thing,
I think.
which I found was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Was it?
Haunting.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't, it's more.
You know, the whole point of this group is like we're honest with people, right?
Yeah.
So let's be honest.
Okay. Let's be honest.
The whole paranormal investigating thing, you know, all of the shows, all the actual investigations that you know, real people like us conduct. There's a lot of sides to it,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of entertainment involved.
Of course.
You know, and of course, when you're on TV, you know, I mean, Natalie, you say that John L. Tenney seems like someone you can trust. That's probably true. Or it might not be. I mean, we don't know because it's a TV show. You know, Ghost Adventures, they could be like super really into it.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the way the show is marketed, you know, they exaggerate some things. They make it way more sensational than it actually is. And of course, we've talked about this before on other podcasts. You know,
Right.
that action-packed 1 hour show was like stretched over like 3 days or something, which they don't tell you that either. You know, they don't tell you,
No, wait a
we
second.
were shooting in that town for a week.
I
It
disagree
wasn't
with you.
1 or 2 nights.
Zach gets locked down over one night, okay, and he runs around with his big muscles yelling at ghosts.
Yeah, no. And they have to go in and shoot additional material.
Oh.
You know, they have to set things up because they didn't get it the first time. Like, oh, I didn't get the right reaction from you, Aaron. You know, like, so, you know, they have to shoot like this B-roll stuff. It's a show, you know, and of course we don't encounter that with the stuff that we do.
No.
Like the for real investigating. Not that what they do is not real, but it's a totally different world, and I just wish to God that people would realize that there's a difference between television and real life.
Yeah.
When we, you know, talk to people when we do, you know, like public things, you know, we go out and we talk to people, and they come up with questions, and they ask us, you know, like things, and like, you saw that on TV, didn't you? You know, it's not, oh my God, the orbs thing, you know, like,
Yeah.
who started that? Was it Ghost
Hunters? Yeah. I think they were the first ones out to really promote the whole paranormal
God,
thing.
I wish they had never said, "Hey, I know. We'll show pictures of dust and tell everybody that they're spirits, and depending on the color of the dust particle, it's an evil, or it's nice, or it's lucky leprechaun, or whatever." You know?
I've seen dust particles with faces in them, so don't tell me those aren't real.
man, and people still come up to us,
Yeah.
and you can tell them right to their face, oh, that's dust. And they're like, yeah. But look at this one. It's a little girl.
This one's the one. This is the
that's
truth.
dust too. Yeah, but isn't it cool how she's...
No, that's a bug. No, that's moisture. No. They don't
I mean, there
listen
is-
to you.
But look how it moves when it's in, you can see in the video that it moves from one direction and then moves in another direction.
Right.
What is that? Oh, that's you breathing. That's what that is. Or moving around.
Yeah.
Movement does that.
I mean, I just wish that we could strip away all of that fabricated stuff, but
Yeah.
it's like so ingrained in the minds of the paranormal show followers that they just can't put it aside,
That's what marketing does, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it really, editing, marketing, and pushing content really, it ingrains itself on the public. So what you see on TV, what you see on the computers is exactly what's going on. And,
Yeah. But, I mean, we've all had experiences, though,
yeah.
that
Yeah.
that are legit, for real. Of course, we could be lying to you because you guys don't know.
Sure,
I mean, we
sure.
could be making it up, just like a lot of people make stuff up. It happens.
Yeah.
But we've had things happen, and we
Yeah.
cannot explain them. And here's the thing. We have no idea what we're doing.
Yes, we
Let's
have
be-
no
Let's be
clue.
honest. We haven't a clue. You're right. We don't know what's out there. We don't know what it is. We don't know if it can interact with us. We don't know anything at all about it. Like you can say, hey, there's a salamander. How do we know it's a salamander? Because you can hold it, you can study it, you can dissect it, you can do all kinds of tests on it. It's been scientifically cataloged and studied for hundreds of years. We know what a salamander is. What's a ghost? There you go. Nobody knows.
Crickets.
We don't know. We don't know what the hell it can do and it can't do. And that's why we're doing what we're doing, because we're trying to, in our own little way. Let me just find some piece of evidence that can, I don't even know, prove what, I don't know.
I'll tell you honestly, I'm doing it just to be curious. I really just want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see. That's I want an experience.
Yeah.
And even the experiences I have, going back, I'm like,
I know.
was it real?
Yeah.
I don't know. Was it my excitement?
I'm
So now-
still trying to rationalize
Yeah.
what happened to me at Delaware Bay Trading Company.
Yeah.
An investigation we did with Diamond State Ghost investigators. A rocking chair. I was in a room by myself, and I reached for the rocking chair, and that thing scooted across the floor away from me about 3 feet and started rocking. I'm telling you guys, I did not touch that. I did not kick it. I know I made no contact with it because I was about 2 feet from it when I started reaching. And it moved on its own. And I'm still to this day, like, somehow, is it possible that I did that? I can't come up with anything.
But you're a very calm person, and you don't get very excited. And
No.
you were excited that day when that happened.
It scared the hell out of me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I can't say that you lied about it, because
Are you saying that I lied about it?
Either that or his special powers. He moved it
well,
with his mind.
let me tell you something. The locks of hair on Mike can do wonders. But yeah,
we don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
I had that experience at the fort. Me and one of the investigators for Diamond State and Coast investigators, we were in the Battery Torbert, and we're standing there right before another group was coming. We decided to take a recorder and just start doing an EVP test, and we hear boots walking towards us, and he got closer and closer. We're standing there in the dark, and they got closer and closer. Then we hear talking and mumbling. And me and this other, I grabbed her arm, and I'm like, all right. She goes, well, I got to turn the light on. I got to see. I'm like, if we see something, I'm pulling you out. We're running. And she turns on. Everything stopped. All noise stopped. Everything that we heard just stopped.
Yeah.
And it was just a regular noise of the tunnel. Now, Could have been our imagination. Could have been somebody else, like maybe Mike wandering around there later on. I don't know.
You don't know. Yeah.
You don't know who. You don't know what it was. Now I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe it was just my imagination. Maybe it was just the dripping of the water off the ceiling, or something moving.
Every experience is really subjective. You don't know unless you experience it yourself, unless you were right there and it happened to you. One of the things that we do in evidence review, we all listen to our recordings and look at our video, and then we come up with clips of things that happened, that we know happened. And then we share it amongst each other. Honestly, when I listen to other people's clips, I immediately start debunking. And I wasn't there. But I'm like, oh, that was it. Clearly that was so-and-so upstairs in the kitchen. They were talking. But to the person who experienced it, only they know. Only they know for sure that it was not someone upstairs talking.
And that's the other thing. You don't have this group effect where everybody was there when it happened. You had the chair move. You were by yourself. The camera wasn't even on the chair.
We had a camera in the room, but it wasn't.
All we see is you jumping back and yelling. That's it. Same thing with me and the other investigator. It was just she and I standing there. She may not have heard anything.
Yeah.
It might have been my excitement. Hey, did you hear that? There's something coming toward us. And, it's just feeding hysteria. It's just feeding that into her, and she heard it too. Oh, yeah, I do hear it.
Yeah.
There's never a group that's we heard that it came from that area, because whenever you talk to a group that heard something, we heard it came from the corner.
Right.
And then another part of no, it came from behind us.
Right.
No, it was upstairs.
Right.
So,
well, when we have bits of evidence, like it's usually audio, when it has like maybe two people on it, you still don't know. If there's one person's voice, and like I'm in the attic by myself. And I have a digital audio recorder laying there, and I say, hey, is there someone up here with me? And you hear. If I play that audio for you, you don't know if I'm full of crap or not.
It could have been Mike doing that.
Yeah, you don't know. So it's like, that's a nice clip of you tapping on tape. I don't know.
Right.
But if you were there, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So it's purely... It's purely from the point of view of the person who's involved in the situation.
Right.
No amount of recording, no amount of video we could always debunk anything video-wise.
Yeah. Just about always. Yeah.
So
I mean, we're going to be putting evidence out there for you guys to listen to
and debunk
and look at. But you can have the same attitude.
Yeah. Oh, please. So
they set it up, but. We're serious.
We're trying to be as serious as possible.
Just saying.
That's why we're calling us Haunt Squad Paranormal Entertainment.
That's right.
Because it's all there for you. You could take it from what it is. We take it seriously, but you could take it as entertainment.
Yeah.
Just, hey, they put this out there. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
It could have been,
Yeah. It's very infrequent that several people experience the same thing at the same time, and some of the best recordings that I have were from public tours at Fort Delaware.
Oh, was it really?
And as a rule, we exclude all evidence that was gathered during public tours, because you've got all kinds of people wandering around. It could be anything. But when you are in an enclosed environment and you've got 12 people in a room, and because you're there, that there's no one upstairs,
right? And
there's no one outside. And when you hear on the audio people losing their minds because there's boots walking up above you, it can still be faked. I mean, people, you can fake stuff, but when you hear the reactions of all the people, it gives a little more credence to it, that it wasn't just you or someone else who happened to hear something. When you hear everybody react to it, that's really cool stuff.
And that's my other point, is the reaction of people. How funny is it when you react to something and it's either on tape or tape. It's on a recording or it's on video, or you're there with another one. Case in point, we were at Delaware Bay Trading Company, and I was in the basement. Natalie Jane was upstairs in the attic, and you were on monitors.
Right.
And I was downstairs, and I said, I hear you sing. Why don't you sing something? And then I hear you go, did somebody sing? Yeah, it's those things that you have a really... the reactions are funny. My reaction of wanting to grab, let's get the hell out of here now,
Vinny suddenly realizes he's alone in the dark.
Your reaction with the chair. Oh my God! Screaming downstairs.
Yeah.
When you watch us on video, I was watching Natalie Jane when we were at Delaware Bay Trading Company, and we had the bats flying around, and brave Natalie goes upstairs into the attic, and it's dusty, it's dirty, and I'm watching her on video, and I couldn't help but laugh because all I see her doing is constantly ducking. And ducking, because the bats kept, and then the boot steps when I hear the boot steps coming downstairs, and you're having a hot dog in the other room, and I go, Mike, I hear boots, and your response was, well, is your recorder going? And my response, no, oh God, but it's just the goofy things, and I hope that we promote that too, just the weird, goofy things that we do, that it just happens, Natalie wasn't trying to be funny, but I found it funny because all I keep her doing is see her is, oh, watch it. What? And there's no sound to it. So I'm just watching her and I'm
weaving.
Exactly. And the fact that you were in the other room having a hot dog.
What's your fascination with my hot dog?
I don't know. It's just hilarious that we're doing an investigation. You're like, I'm going to get something to eat.
Hey, they offered,
And we're all being, all right, we're doing an investigation. And she's upstairs and she's doing her EVPs. And I'm listening. And then I hear,
hey, come on.
What are you doing, Mike? Oh, I'm just having a hot dog. I'm hungry.
You better not have put ketchup on that hot dog either. Did you put ketchup on
No,
it?
just
Thank
mustard.
God.
Because,
Well, what's wrong with ketchup?
Midwest style.
Chicago style hot dog. Not that I eat hot dogs, because I don't, because I'm a vegetarian. But you do not put ketchup on a hot dog.
So
Nope.
they say.
All right, this is going to be a point of contention here at Haunt
mustard.
Squad. Mustard. That's mustard in Chicago.
Da Bears.
Super Bear Super Bowl. They're taking it. I'm telling you.
But so this is our group. This is what we're all about. We debunk ourselves. We make fun of ourselves. We make fun of the investigations that we do. But
something that we should do when we get start posting evidence, we should put everything out there, like even stuff that's debunked. I mean,
absolutely.
it can be a learning experience.
Absolutely.
You
it's
guys
no holds
listening,
bar.
We'll say, hey, listen, here's the thing, and we're going to tell you what it is. And if you don't know what it is ahead of time, you might listen to it and go, that's totally someone saying, kill Zach. But we'll tell you, no, it was actually a car going by. That,
right.
It can be enlightening. We can do good,
No.
Yes, we can.
So, we got all this going on. We have, our paranormal part of our group, have our team. We have our nerdy part and nerdy aspect of our team when it comes to comic books and movies and TV shows.
We got quickly derailed, didn't we, earlier
on? I told you, ADD podcast. That's what this is. And you know what? And we should have it that way. We just have a good time.
Totally.
And that's what our investigations are going to be. Just us having a good time. Remember the whole breakdown thing over at Delaware Bay Trading Company? All right, we got to break down. And everybody's, oh, God, I'm going to start crying. And we have recordings of us. And then during that time we did that, we actually got some evidence off of that. So us having fun, we wound up actually walking out there with a piece of good evidence.
Yep.
So, you have fun with what you're doing.
Yeah.
We can have a good time as a team.
And I hope that comes across that we're just trying to be honest with everybody and have a good time and want to relay that feeling to you guys listening. That,
exactly.
No BS here.
Nah,
It's just like putting it out there as it really is, and we're trying to entertain you guys, but like in a hey, we're all friends sitting around together and having a good time, and not we're gonna tell you things.
Let's be serious about this.
This and it's a certain thing, and
Nah.
we're no, you decide for yourself, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So with our next podcast, we're coming up to our time here. With our next podcast that we're going to do, we're going to come up with a topic, and we're going to try to stay on point with the topic.
Good
but again,
luck.
ADD radio. That's what we're aiming for here. So we could start off talking about a movie and go into what were we talking about before the wrestling thing? El Rey.
Oh, Lucha Underground.
Lucha. So we were talking. We were talking about my issues, and then we go into Lucha Underground, and we just had a great time with that, and that's what this whole podcast is about. We're just going to have a good time, and hopefully it'll come across that way, and we entertain you guys out there.
Yeah.
Haunt Squad has a number of media points. We have a Facebook page. We have Instagram. We have Twitter. We're going to have a SoundCloud, and that will be posted on Facebook as soon as we put up a piece of audio. This is going up on iTunes, so you're going to be looking it up under Haunt Squad Podcast in iTunes. So it's iTunes Haunt Squad Podcast. That'll be up on our Facebook. Podomatic.
Natalie, what are the addresses of all of the...
All right, we have a Facebook, Twitter, and an Instagram account. Our Facebook is www.facebook.com/HauntSquad, one word.
Oh, that's easy.
Our Twitter is www.twitter.com/HauntSquad, one word. And our Instagram, which we don't have any pictures up on there yet, but we will soon, is www.instagram.com/haunt_squad.
Nice.
Cool.
And Natalie Jane is a phenomenal photographer, so you can rest assured you're going to get some really great pictures on there. And
Of kittens.
kittens. That's right. Yes. Every podcast we have to mention something about a cat.
Yeah.
I think that's something that we have to do.
That's our thing.
Yeah. Cats. Cats. So we're going to end this one. And I think this was a successful show.
Sure.
Yes,
So
definitely.
we hit this one up, and I think our last sign-off should be what we normally do. So we got to do it all at the same time, though, okay?
Yeah.
So this is Vinny.
And Mike.
And Natalie.
We're all signing off. Guys, thanks a lot for listening, and stay spooky!